to next?
Let's go to Jordan in North Carolina.
All right, Jordan in North Carolina. You're live with Eric and V. What would you like?
Hello. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Hello.
Yes.
Yay. So in order for me to I guess talk about what I want to talk about, I just want to give you a really brief background of myself.
Okay, just so you know, though, we are limited on time, so we've got to try and scoot through while we can.
Okay, yeah, I'll make it quick.
Okay.
So basically, I was born into a very lightly Catholic house, and then I kind of fell out of it. I'm 20 now, so I was pretty much an atheist until I met my friend in college. Now, she took me to her religious services, and she talked to me about God, and she prayed for me, all that stuff. So that kind of got me exploring religion. And so right now, I'd say I'm pretty much, I used to say oh, I'm a questioning atheist, but then people would start to be like, no, you're not an atheist if you still question, or I don't know. But so basically, I would say I'm an agnostic that's questioning God. So my main problems right now are I really deep down feel I don't believe in God, but two things. One, I get stuck on the thought of hell. Of course, a lot of people do. And also, I'm worried when fellow or other atheists are you have nothing to worry about, and they give me all of the logical fallacies, which I also would want to hear from you guys, some things that go against God. And then I'm wondering is the devil tricking them? And I know that sounds dumb, but that's just something that goes through my head. So I just wanted some help, and maybe if you guys could just kind of help me with my journey away from Christianity.
Sure.
Yes, of course. You've come to the right show. And I do just want to throw it out there. If we do end up running out of time, you are free to email me at v@atheist-community.org. I'm sure Eric would also be interested in talking with you.
Yeah, I'm down to hop on the Discord after too.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I just want to make sure that you know that even if we get cut off, there's still ways to get in touch, and we'd like to continue this conversation.
Could you give me your email again? I'm just going to write it down.
Sure. It's actually in the live chat. Casa Mufasa was very nice and put it in there. So it is written down, and we'll also have it in the description as well.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
So first off, the idea, well, what if the devil's tricking you? V, what about you? I know that I felt that. I was terrified of it.
Yeah, I think it's a very useful technique to be oh yes, there's this for some reason also omnipotent evil being that is tricking you every time you disagree with us, and also the penalty is going to be everlasting torment, by the way. Also, none of this is possibly proven, but yeah, I mean, it's a good mind trick. It works. But you can do that with anything, right? You can say, hey, Jordan, I am telling you the truth. Everyone else is lying to you. Listen to me. Do not believe anybody else. They are all lying. And if you say that often enough, and enough people say that, that's going to get into your head, even if there's no basis, no evidence, no nothing. It's a very understandable concern to have if you've got multiple people saying that, but there is no other evidence apart from other people are also convinced that this Satan person is real.
Right. Another way to look at it is it's a version of saying, even if I'm wrong, I'm right. Right. So even if you doubt that it's just the devil, right? Even if you come to the conclusion for good reasons, it's just Satan tricking you. And there are a lot of things that are kind of built into the Bible that you see, only the fool believes in his heart that there is no God. You have
other people are going to come with other versions of this story, and they're all wrong, but I'm right.
Yeah, and then you even have things like doubting Thomas, right? What was wrong with doubting Thomas, who wanted to see the evidence of the crucifixion?
Especially if Jesus had a twin brother, which he did in one of the Gospels that we don't hear about.
And so,
which Jesus are you, though? Like, seriously.
And yet there's this push to put down, anybody who asks questions. And, even if you're wrong, well, we knew you would think that. And when you get onto the other side of it and you go, okay, well, I really don't believe then there's then you are never one of us to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You have all of these built-in things that prop itself up that say, even if I'm wrong, I'm right. There's no way to get out of it. But here's the thing, is if you're worried about that, are you worried about being wrong about all of the other religions? I mean, I know that sounds so cheesy. And I know that it doesn't actually fit, right? You're not worried about the other religions, and it's still a thing. The thing I'm excited to tell you about is it goes away over time. It just takes time. It really does. It's the same with prayer for a whole lot of people who lead the church. Prayer seems like something that they love, and a lot of time it's the time that you are introspective and the time where you reflect on the things that you want and you care about and you think about them. And there's value to be had in meditation and affirmation and those kinds of things, but eventually it stops being as helpful when you realize that nobody's listening. You start to shift.
Right.
I remember a death in my family where people were saying, well, they're with God now. And I stopped being convinced by that and started feeling really sad for those family members who were saying that. And it just happens over time. It's one of those things that you can't rush. And even if you want to, healing takes way longer than people want it to.
Yeah.
But you're not alone. You're not.
Thanks. It's hard. I really don't think I'd be stuck on Christianity if it weren't for hell. And that's such a sad thing.
But it's understandable. It really is. You are certainly not alone in that. If you go to the Discord, and I hope we do see you thereafter, you're going to see probably a lot of people feeling the same exact way. We get many, many calls from people who are on their way out. It's just that lingering fear of hell. And honestly, what kind of got me out of that phase, and I'll offer this to you, is if there was an all-good God who cared about me, there is no way that fear would be the thing that kept me with him, right? Like, there is no compatible way that this God loves you and wants the best for you and is working all things together for your good, but also the only thing keeping you in this faith is your fear of being tortured forever by that God. Like, there is no logic there. And if this God did exist, I bet you anything he'd rather you go and let go of that fear and go find other things that made you happy. I don't know. I think there is a fundamental incompatibility with the idea of fearfully staying in a loving religion. And more often than not, from the people we hear leaving, it's the fear that wins out. And it's understandable. It does go away over time. And I just want to kind of reiterate what Eric said before. You're not afraid of the villains in the books you don't read, right? The only reason you're scared of this villain is because you read this particular book.
Right.
But definitely, even when we're not on the Discord, hop in. There's some really great people who you can talk to. I know we've got to wrap up soon, but you waited a long time to talk to us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I hope we hear back from you.
Definitely. Stay safe.
Okay. Yes, you will. Thank you.
Bye.